Hey everyone, we've all been there, right? Staring at a campaign report that's just a wall of numbers, a total data dump that makes your eyes glaze over. But what if that report could be something more? What if it could be the single most powerful tool you have, a true decision engine for your entire marketing strategy? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about finding the actual story that's hiding inside all that data. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the anatomy of what makes a report great. After that, we'll look at how you can put your reporting on autopilot, seriously, and how AI is making reports smarter than ever. And finally, we'll cover the most important part, how to build reports that people actually use to drive real action. So let's kick things off with a pretty big idea. We have to stop thinking about our reports as just a bunch of numbers on a page. Think about it more like a story. It's the story of your campaign, what you did, what happened, why it happened, and most importantly, what you're going to do next. This right here is the one question your report absolutely has to answer. Was your campaign a hero's journey that hit all its goals? Or was it more of a mystery with some unexpected plot twists? All the clues are in the data, and the report is how you tell that story. And this is the key takeaway, really. A good campaign report isn't just looking in the rearview mirror. It's supposed to be a roadmap for what's ahead. Its whole purpose is to turn raw data into insights you can actually use. It's not just about the what, it's all about the so what. And this is the perfect example of what I mean. Saying we got 1,000 conversions. Okay, cool, but where do you go from there? Now saying 70% of those came from email, while our social ads didn't do much, that is a story. That's a real insight you can take action on literally right now to make your next move smarter. Okay, so if our report is a story, then every good story needs chapters, right? It needs a structure. So let's pop the hood and look at the 5 essential chapters that make up a really great, compelling campaign report. These 5 pieces work together to give you the whole picture. You start with your objectives and KPIs. That's basically what were we trying to do. Then you've got traffic and audience, which answers who did we actually reach. Next up is attribution, the big question of which channels actually worked. Then you dig into content performance to see what stuff did people like. And of course, you wrap it all up with the big one, budget and ROI, answering, was it all worth it? This table breaks it down perfectly. Each chapter answers a super important question. Objectives and KPIs, that's your scorecard. Did we win? Traffic and audience, that's your guest list, who showed up to the party. And budget and ROI, well, that's the ultimate bottom line. Was this a good investment? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Building a 5-chapter story like that sounds like a ton of work. And, it used to be. But thankfully, we now have technology that can save us from the soul-crushing nightmare of manual spreadsheets. Oh man, we've all lived this life, haven't we? Spending hours, sometimes even full days, just pulling numbers from Google Analytics, from your ad platforms, from your CRM, copying, pasting, and just praying you don't mess up a single cell. It's slow, it's boring, and it's so easy to make a mistake. But the new way, it's a complete game changer. We're talking about integrated dashboards, things like Google Looker Studio, HubSpot, Supermetrics, that automatically pull in all your data for you in real time. This means you can stop being a data entry robot and start being what you're actually paid to be, a strategic analyst. I mean, the benefits here are just huge. You save a ridiculous amount of time, you basically eliminate human error, and your reports are no longer static snapshots. They're alive, always up to date. But the biggest win is speed. Think about it. You can spot that something's off on day 3 of a campaign and fix it, instead of finding out on day 30 after you've already burned through the budget. So, we've automated the past. That's awesome. But what about the future? This is where things get really cool, because this is where AI comes in. AI is starting to turn our reports from that simple rearview mirror into something more like a crystal ball. We're shifting from just looking back to actually predicting what's next. First up is predictive analytics. This is where AI looks at all your past and current data and starts making educated guesses about the future. Imagine your report telling you, hey, just so you know, at this pace, you're going to miss your conversion goal by about 15%. Now, that is an insight that lets you get ahead of the problem. Then you have anomaly detection. The best way to think about this is like an AI watchdog that's always guarding your data. It's constantly looking for anything weird, a sudden drop in traffic, a crazy spike in cost per click, and it barks when it finds something. It flags the things you might have missed. And This is where it starts to feel like magic. Automated insights. Now, the AI isn't just showing you the numbers, it's starting to interpret them for you. It might pop up with a note in plain English that says, your click-through rate on mobile ads doubled this week compared to desktop. It's like having a brilliant data analyst working alongside you 24/7. But look, all of this amazing tech, all this AI wizardry, it's all completely useless if your report just ends up sitting in someone's inbox, unread. Because here's the absolute truth. A report is only as valuable as the action it creates. And to do that, you have to know who you're talking to. A campaign report is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Your CEO, your marketing team, the sales department, your partners, they all care about different things. They speak different languages. To really make an impact, you've got to tailor the story for each audience. Take your senior executive, for example. They want the bottom line, the 30,000-foot view. They don't have time for click-through rates. They want to know, did we make money? Did this help the business grow? For them, you need a short, sharp summary focused on ROI. Now, your campaign manager, they live in a completely different world. They need the nitty-gritty details. They're asking, which ad creative worked best? Which audience converted? They need that granular data to make the next campaign even better. It's the same campaign data, but told as two totally different stories. So let's put it all together. Here are the golden rules. Always start with clear goals. Use charts and graphs to tell a visual story. Don't just dump numbers. Focus relentlessly on insights people can act on. Try to standardize your reports so people know what to expect. And for the love of all things marketing, make sure your data is accurate. And that leaves us with one last question to think about. I want you to look at the last report you built. Was it just a document, a static file that captures a moment in the past? Or was it a living, breathing decision engine that's actively helping you build a smarter future? The choice and the power is all yours. Thanks for tuning in.